Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Joining me this afternoon, you're going to recognize them. They're from the Department of Ag, Trade, Consumer Protection. Got to slow down. And I've got Lara and Michelle. Thank you for coming back out here one more time, and appreciate the time. I know it's probably nice to be out of the office, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, gorgeous senior center. We're happy to be here.
Glad to have you. And we're going to kick things off here. We were alerted to possible scam, and it is this time of year where we're looking at home improvement and whether it's driveways, painting, you name it. But Dane County Sheriff's Office putting out here mid-June that they want to make people aware of those drive-by scams, if you will. And what we're talking about is specifically somebody saying, hey, I have a little bit of extra paint left over, a little asphalt. Do you want me to come over and help you out? And that probably is a red flag there. This is not anything new, though. We've talked about this in the past. But could you guys break down what we're talking about here?
So we are talking about that door-to-door salesperson that is not local. They're not your local business individual. They're usually from out of state, somewhere across country, typically have some pretty nice vehicles with out-of-state license plates. But you set it up perfectly. It's that too good to be true offer. They come knocking on your door and indicate that maybe you could use another coat of paint on the house, or the driveway needs resealing, two very popular schemes that happen. It starts in June and goes all the way through September when we have the nice warm season and asphalt can really set in nicely. But I have leftover materials and supplies from a job down the road, and I can give you a really good deal or offer if you just want to accept right now on the spot, usually pay cash or write a check out to them. It's not common that they'll take a check, but they do, and so they'll cash that right away. They'll do the job, sometimes right in the moment, but it's usually very shoddy work. It might not be exactly what was represented. We've seen cases where the materials aren't what a consumer will think they'll be, so that way when the next rainstorm comes, the paint just clears off the house, or the driveway sealant is gone and you can just see it floating away with the rainwaters. And then when they're all done with the work, something has come up where it's going to cost you a lot more money, and they demand additional payment, and they can get very aggressive. They tend to target the elderly, and one of the ways they do that is the fact that they're going door to door during the day, and who's at home? Individuals who don't have a 9-to-5 job that they're going to, and that can be our retired seniors, and so they will target that. And they also sometimes need assistance with some of these jobs, so the houses could get worn down a little bit more in showing that coat of paint is needed on the house, or the driveway needs resealing.
The too good to be true, Laura. That is the key here, and it's a common thing that we hear about when we're talking about scams like this. The pressure of it now, save some money now. Let's do it now.
Right, and that's always a red flag. You don't have to have your driveway finished immediately ever.
Right.
So you should do what you always do. You ask people that you trust. You call and get information from your neighbors, from your family, and then you can also call DATCP and find out, have we got complaints against these individuals. The other thing is a lot of municipalities, that didn't roll off the tongue very well, a lot of them require you have licensing or registration before you can go door to door. So you should inquire if somebody knocks on your door, are you permitted to be here? Do you have a registration? And if they don't, then you shouldn't be engaging with them. And sometimes they actually just want to take the money and leave. They're not going to do any work. Mm-hmm. And if that happens and they're gone, it's almost impossible to unring that bell. It's almost impossible to get that money back. So never fall for something that's pushed on you for the immediacy, particularly if it's roofing, if it's painting. You can be deliberate about that, and you should be, because there are a lot of people that come door to door that are just trying to take advantage of you in this way.
So a person like me who likes to engage sometimes, which I know is the number one thing not to do, which Michelle yells at me every time I see her about this. But what would you recommend? So you're like, ooh, this could be one of those that they talked about on the show. Like, you're like, do you call 911 like right away and say, hey, I got this person in my neighborhood, and like you're saying not engaged, but what do we want to collect if we can?
Well, the first thing is do not let them in the house. Never let them cross that threshold. If you do have a conversation, step outside, but even that in some cases can be dangerous. So do not let them cross a threshold. But yes, you can certainly call the non-emergency number for your local law enforcement and let them know that there are individuals selling things door to door. If you're able to see a license plate and a make model on whatever vehicle they're driving, that will help them. But they can also then check with the municipality, see if someone's registered to be selling door to door. They'll have had other reports from consumers if they've engaged and then had shoddy work. That's something that certainly gets reported very quickly and they can follow up. Plus, the law enforcement's very good about communicating across county lines as to how these individuals travel. So while Lara indicated they can take the money and run and not do any of the work, they're usually just crossing the county line and trying to do the next day. The scam someplace else. So they're able to be tracked, and then that will be helpful for the local law enforcement and the district attorneys. But filing a complaint with Consumer Protection, as soon as you learn about this, if you've engaged in a transaction, is going to be important. And if there's ever any way to get anything in writing out of them, that will also be a valuable piece to the puzzle.
Yeah, anything in writing is good. And would you guys take, as part of investigation, like people have doorbells that have video recordings on them, audio recordings? Are you able to collect that data and use that? I know the law enforcement might be able to, but is that something that is part of your investigation that might be
We would
used?
absolutely be open to video and audio. Absolutely. That's very valuable information.
Yeah, because that can kind of get you a description of that person, maybe even catches the vehicle, whatever the case may be.
That's right.
Perfect. Well, again, if somebody is notices what best way to start that reporting.
So call Consumer Protection, 1-800-422-7128. You can file a complaint online. You can find out information on hiring a contractor so you can be deliberate about that transaction on our website at datcp.wi.gov.
You know what would make me feel really good is if they open the person, whoever citizen opens the door and say, you know what, I listen to the DATCP people and they say, I should be talking to you.
Right.
That would be a good day, I'm just saying.
Yeah, or not even open the door. Just look out the window,
Well, this
see
is
the
me we're
truck,
talking
and
about.
then just don't even open the door.
I'm the person that's going to be chasing him all the way off the driveway. Come
know
back
who you
here.
are.
I know. Yes, yeah, I'm that person. Thank you so much, as always, and looking forward to seeing you guys soon.
Sounds great. Thank you.
All right, we'll take a quick break. You are watching Talking Fitchburg.